Why do some kids grow up confident and others get left behind? I thought I was doing everything right as a parent. Then one day, I noticed my youngest daughter wasn't talking around anyone but me. She could speak, she was smart, but in public, total silence. Her teachers were concerned. She couldn't connect, she couldn't play with others, and I was stuck. I didn't know what to do. That's when I found Jordan Peterson video about early childhood, and it changed how I parent. So I'm Tony. I'm a single dad raising two daughters. I'm just sharing my experiences in order to help others as well. So I got two daughters, and my first could sit still, she could pay attention, she could follow direction, no problem. But my second one, she couldn't sit still for long. She squirmed, she wanted to move, she would lose focus. She wasn't being defiant, she just wasn't built for stillness. And it did worry me. Was she struggling to learn? Was it something I missed? But then I realized, why are we even asking kids to sit still for hours at a time? They're not wired for that. Kids are meant to move, to play. We push stillness because it's easier for us adults and it's quieter for us. It's more controlled, but that doesn't mean it's better. What are we teaching when we tell our kids to sit down, to be quiet, and to stay in line? It's not curiosity, it's not confidence, it's obedience. How to blend in. That's not necessary growth. And it's not what kids need if we want them to lead one day. So my 8-year-old, she challenges me every day. She asks why, she questions rules, she wants to understand everything. And honestly, that's a strength. She's confident, she's curious, she's not afraid to speak up, but it's also exhausting. Because as a parent, you still have to move the day forward. And when every small thing turns into a debate, it tests you. Jordan Peterson said something that stuck with me. A disagreeable child, if properly socialized, becomes powerful. They don't get pushed around. They don't crumble under pressure. And if that fire isn't guided early, it burns bridges instead of lighting new paths. So it's not about controlling your kid. It's about helping them channel that strength into something useful, teaching them how to stand firm while still being respectful, to lead without dominating, to challenge without rejecting authority completely. If you can't pull that off, you're raising someone who's a powerful human being. If you're tired of repeating yourself or arguing over every small thing and you want your child to actually listen and grow with confidence, like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Whenever I take my girls to a school event, I feel proud. Not because they're perfect, not because they win awards, but because other kids want to be around them. And teachers always say, your daughters are a joy to have in class. So that's parenting right there. I taught them to listen, to be kind, to respect others, especially adults, and I made sure they understood how to include people. So Jordan Peterson says something most parents never hear. Your job is to make sure your child is socially acceptable by age 4. So that means other kids should want to play with them. Adults should enjoy being around them because the world reacts to your kid before they understand it. If they're too aggressive, too rude, or too withdrawn, they're going to get rejected. Not with cruelty, but with distance, and that rejection adds up. If your kid is kind, curious, and knows how to behave around others, they're welcomed. And that changes everything. When my youngest was 3, she barely talked in public. She talked at home all the time, but around other people, she was just so quiet all the time. And I remember watching her at the park, standing near a group of kids, just holding her toy and just not saying a word. Just standing there unsure or waiting for something. I noticed that she wanted to join them, but she didn't know how. And after a few minutes, the other kids just moved on. And that's when it hit me. If kids don't learn how to connect early, they're going to get left behind. It's just how kids work. By age 4 or 5, kids build tight peer groups. They start developing rhythm, social roles, games, teamwork. And if your child isn't a part of that, they don't get invited later. So that gap grows fast. And the farther behind your child is, the harder it becomes to catch up. The early rejection can shape their self-image for years. And it's why social skills matter more than we think. Even though I'm raising girls, I can see the difference in boys all the time. In their classrooms, at birthday parties, with my nephews, they're louder, they're rougher, they move fast, yell more, and test boundaries constantly. Even my daughter noticed it. They call the boys crazy all the time. And in some ways, yeah, they are. But here's the thing. That energy isn't bad. It just shows up differently. Jordan Peterson explains that boys start life more aggressive. But if they're socialized properly, if we guide them early, that aggression gets shaped into drive, into purpose. But if not, puberty is going to hit, testosterone is going to spike, and that energy turns chaotic. That's when they start breaking things instead of building things. What bothers me is how quickly adults shut down boys. Stop running, stop yelling, calm down. That kind of intensity needs direction, not shame. We don't need to make boys softer. We need to make them stronger with control. Because when a boy learns to lead with discipline instead of impulse, everyone benefits. If you're a single dad who's feeling isolated or unsure about what to do next, I built a free group to help guys like us connect, grow, and get real support. Use the link in the description to join us today. My daughter aren't just smart, they're deeply empathetic. They care when their friends are left out, they share without being told, they notice when someone's having a rough day, and they act on it. That's empathy, and it's real. And it's something I never want to crush. Jordan Peterson talks about this idea of spectrum. On one end, you got maternal care. On the other end, you got dominance and assertiveness. And most of us and our kids learn naturally to use one side. So my daughters, they lead with care. They influence through kindness. But that doesn't mean they're weak. Empathy can be powerful. The problem is when kids only get praised for being nice, but never taught how to be strong or say no or lead when it counts. So as a dad, my job is to help them balance both, to keep that comparison alive while still building grit, confidence, and boundaries. Because when you lead with kindness and stand your ground, you're unstoppable. There have been so many times I had to discipline my daughters in public. We're in the store, they ask for something, and I just say no. And then the meltdown begins. They're yelling, they're crying, and people are just staring at me, waiting to see what I do. It would be easier just to give in and hand them the toy and then end the drama. But that's not how I parent. Jordan Peterson says something that stuck with me. Discipline is love. It's not about punishment. It's about teaching your child how to function in the real world. When a child throws a fit in public, they're not just upset, they're testing boundaries. They're asking, who's in control here? And every time I stay calm, firm, and consistent, I'm answering that question. I'm showing them that I lead with love, not weakness. It's not fun, it's not easy, but it is necessary. Because one day they need to discipline themselves. And if I don't teach them now, life will do it later and much harsher. So every kid is different, but every kid needs structure, connection, and a parent who shows up with strength and love. Drop a comment below and share one parenting shift you're ready to make this week. Then click on this next video right here to keep moving forward.